back on. Our brother from Colorado called up and told me that even though I said it on public, it says it's private. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm using my laptop, which I normally do a show on, is in the shop. And my bub, who's fixing it, is on vacation. So. I hope he's having a great time. He needs a good break. Is one over there? That's one of you is there. You got any questions? You want to talk about anything? You know, we're being forced to look at war. And it looks like Donnie's going to win, right? All the numbers are coming in that he's got all the swing states and lots of other states. So he looks like he's going to win in a big way, which would be good. As long as so I live in a very much ultra white, ultra messianic kind of community. It's all for nuclear war in the Mideast, so Jesus will come back, right? Everybody wants it. And well, that's why I wear this hat. But I have all these interesting buttons on it, you know. But people don't need buttons. They just see the big thing. Well, anyway. Fire. So my major concern is the Democrats want John to win because he basically is will give them the motivation to declare martial law because, you know, Joe is still vice president until, you know, the 6th or whatever of January. It'll be very interesting. But I hope that Donnie wins by a big landslide because, you know, I basically, when people ask me what my political views are, I say I am a student of George Carlin. Whether they, you know, if they know who George is and what he said, and they understand. If they don't, they just scratch their head. Right? So, because politics is really irrelevant. It's you know, as George says, it's a fixed game, and it always has been. You know, and we, what
Are
we...
you doing okay? Need anything?
I'm good. Thank you, dear. So anyway, I just wanted to throw this one up here to see if anyone can hear me, and if anyone has anything to say. I'm going to go on the bop. I got a bunch of things to do. I've already done a few. Normally I come in here and there's nobody here. And I can play my phone and do shows and no one notices because there's no one here. But the place is full for some reason. But here's Proverbs. I'll read a little Proverbs. Proverbs in the Holy Bible, 28. Wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion, and the land rebels. It has many rulers. When the land rebels, it has many rulers, but with an intelligent ruler, there is a lasting peace. Ruler who oppresses the poor is a beating rain that leaves no food. Those who forsake the law and praise the wicked, but those who keep the law struggle against them. The evil do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand it completely. Better to be poor and walk in integrity than be crooked in one's ways, even though rich in gold. Those who keep the law are wise as children, but compassion of gluttony shame their parents. One who augments wealth by exorbitant interest gathers it for another who is kind to the poor. When one will not listen to the law, one's prayers are an abortion. No, not abortion. Admonition. Right? Anyway, that's part of Proverbs 28. Proverbs is pretty good. I like Proverbs. It comes from Solomon, Song of Solomon. And the Bible is a good book, and it has great metaphors. But those who just quote the Bible as an authority are just simply Pharisees. And what the Pharisees did was force the people to bring burnt offerings. I mean, they wanted the best meat that was baked, cooked, so they wouldn't get sick. They wanted the best vegetables, the wheat. They didn't want to work, right? And they wanted gold, right? And that is why Jesus threw the money changers, that's who these people are, the Pharisees, the lawyers of liturgy. And basically say, within spirit, there is no liturgy, right? One is run by the energy in one's heart. So you guys can hear me well? I assume you are able to see me because I'm public, I hope. And if you can't see me for some reason, once these shows go up on my channel, if they come in private, I put them in public. So our culture, our human experience at this time, it's only conscious of the last 6,000 years. And humanity's been probably around 100 million. I mean, they're finding bones that are really ancient, right? And they find all kinds of buried parchments and tablets. I mean, that's the reason why George H. Bush went into Iraq. There was a lot of stuff being uncovered by the French and the Germans, and the guys who represent the Pentagon, which is a satanic symbol, and so is the Vatican. And the Vatican, the City of London, and Pentagon are the three legs of the Trilateral Commission. But all through time, the people always know what's going on, right? And they represent, they step up, they are there, right? Just like you 20 folks are there, you know? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, don't believe a word I say. How about some more likes? There's 17 of you. How about 17 likes? That would be fun. That would kick the algorithm up a little bit. Anybody want to make a comment? That's what really makes the show really a good show, is when you guys start, saying things, and then I can respond. And I'm wearing glasses. See, I'm wearing glasses. I can even read the small print for those who can't stand putting it all in caps, So you have to realize that religion is basically a business plan, right? And religion and politics have been, joined at the hip forever, for the last 6,000 years. That's why Jesus threw the money changers out of the temple. And when he when he was the Last Supper, and when he was in the park with the boys, before Judas kissed him on the lips, basically, he knew everything that was going to go down and went through it all, because that was important, because, the liturgy had put forth, for at least 1,000 years what was going to happen, because the Holy Bible, this book that I read all the time, it's not my religion, right? It is my vibratorial tool, my tuning fork, that I hear from God and Jesus, and I don't say, God, praise God, praise Jesus, praise God, praise Jesus. No, I let God and Jesus vibrate in my heart, I'm a dead man walking, right? I shouldn't be alive. My doctors take care of me, not because they have to, because they're interested in, how can this guy stay alive? Why is he in such great shape when his body is really, my legs are shot, my eyes are shot, I have severe stenosis, heart murmur, that little flappy thing, not working too good, but it works fine. I mean, I can walk up a hill and I don't, And how I look at it is, I'm here as long as God wants me here. The second I'm needed somewhere else, I will be there, right? I've died so many times, I'm not worrying about death. I'm not worrying about the lake of fire or any of that kind of stuff, right? Because the real lake of fire is that we keep coming back. Why? What happened, with Adam and Eve, You read, here we go. I'll read the first part of Genesis. I got it right here. I can read it to you, right? To the reader. Where's Genesis? To the reader. The Old Testament. You know what the Old Testament? It's the Jewish Torah, right? And in Greek, back in the day, when Jesus was around, nobody read Hebrew. Jesus could read anything. But the written language of the time was Greek, right? So the King James basically came from the Greek, right? So Genesis, 6 days of creation and the Sabbath. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void of darkness, covered the face of the deep, while wind from God swept over the face of the water. Well, where did the waters come from, right? They were seemingly there, but in the dark, right? Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light was good. And who was that light? The interesting thing about us right now is that we're in this conflict of good and evil, light and dark, and it's right in front of our face. What is that light and dark, right? I just read it there. All things were dark, meaning everything was in the night, meaning we have a 24-hour day, which is long. Our Julian calendar and temporal fix is one reason why we're so screwed up. But I digress. How about some more? Thumbs up. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. Don't believe a word I say. Everything I'm saying here is basically chuckles and fun, entertainment. It's like a cartoon show, right? So it's not very important. But give me, it'd be really nice, like a miracle, to see, bing, 11 now. We went from 25 down to 7, right? Anyway, so back in the day, when the beginning of this, when everything was dark, it was all night, right? So then we got this, 24-hour day from the Julian calendar, and 12 hours is light. 12 hours, it's night. And before we rediscovered fire, when it was dark, it was dark. There were no, malls or highways or street lights. It was dark. And so the boogeyman was out, And like where I live, it's super, hyper, unbelievable, friggin' paranormal. I live on these juncture of 2 ley lines, which creates a nexus. CERN has discovered that there's thousands of these nexuses all over the Earth that are basically a stargate. Maybe you can go anywhere, right? And a lot of them are connected to a big one that's by the sun, right? Another big one that's in the black spot of Jupiter, right? So we don't need to go faster than light. The Einstein-Rosen bridge allowed people to travel anywhere. You just hold time, space, and you just go through that hole. So I live on one of those. Oh, last night, a bunch of, Bigfoots came and had a party on my deck. They didn't really mess it up, but they did turn my freaking refrigerator in my neighborhood. My neighbor, she was, didn't want to pay $60 to throw out, so she gave it to me. And the freezer works, but the refrigerator part kind of works. Anyway, I woke up this morning and it was upside down, right? And tilted on one side. I'm just like on one corner, just kind of right there. And I thought I could flip it over, but I couldn't. Couldn't even move it. I mean, it's basically defying gravity. And it's just right there, right? So I just said, fine, you guys had a good time. When I come back, I expect to see the refrigerator back on its feet, right? Okay. That's why I came here earlier than I was gonna and have breakfast with you, right? How about a few more of those likes, right? Come on, like the likes, right? We like. Our baby. So, Eddie, where was it? Oh, yes. We're 19 minutes into this. Oh, how exciting. So we're at one of these junctures, one of these parses in time, right? And they happen, every 2,000 to 5,000 years, right? And so we're right at one, and depending on how we handle it, meaning, and it comes from, that vibratorial space in our heart, right? So we can either be, totally whack, right?
And I constantly gave her books to read, and we had to grow our own food, so she was there. Laws issue, possession of small amounts of opioids, cocaine, methamphetamine, and MDMA, also called ecstasy, was decriminalized in D.C. last January after the federal government issued an exemption to the province to try to stem the overdose death toll. Ron the Rockster reporting 3 children have been hurt when a minivan they were in rolled down a hill onto a concrete baseball dugout in Illinois. Kids were hospitalized.
This is the religious channel. This is what they call news. And this is from April 24th. Yeah, 2024. April.
About 3 or 4 times when I helped build a housing authority. Do the things of God and what He would have us to do in this moment, to be in His perfect will. Thanks for listening. Laws issue. Possession of small amounts of opioids, cocaine, methamphetamine, and MDMA, also called ecstasy, was decriminalized in D.C. last January after the federal government issued an exemption to the province to try to stem the overdose death toll.
See, the Chish guys are always asking for money. I'm only asking for some likes. Oops, who did that? Satan. Satan did that. Yes, every Monday through Friday, we ask you for money. Yep. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we really ask you for money.
Every day on Grace to You, we unpack the Bible verse by verse, precept upon precept. And there's no better way to spend 30 minutes of your day. So join us here on this station. Dramatic act. What was that? Their emotions and their body language and the way they say these scripts. And I can tell when they're being too dramatic or they're over exaggerating about a subject.
This is one of my attempts. We're talking on the phone.
For the last 5 years, I've been saying we're all reading a script. Shakespeare said it, we're all actors on the stage, and so he said it back in the 1640s. So it's been ever since. The Greeks were all about it. You know what hypocrite means? I know what it means. Yeah, I don't know the definition. Well, it came from the Greeks because they were the guys who really got down with theater, right? Yeah. And they had this. When we look at theater, there are two masks, comic and tragic, right? The Greeks were the masters of.
I haven't figured out how to slow this down. This is on chipmunk speed.
Right? And so and plus, in their serious theater, what the first, when they had the Olympics, the first thing they had in the Olympics, before they brought on the throwing the javelin and all that stuff, was theater.
Theater was the first thing. When I was in LP, where the first Olympics were, the most impressive thing was there was this little valley, right? And they had created it so acoustically you could hear, the guys. I was sitting at the top of the mountain meditating, and I started hearing voices. I said, boy, voices.
And that makes sense because people who are hypocrites, just like the guys you were seeing on the news, they were wearing a mask. Yes. So they're hypocrites. Yeah, because the way that I was listening to this news channel, and the way he was saying certain things, he was talking about how Russia.
So the thing, I was up in, Delphi and in the mountains, and Donna was off taking pictures, and I was just meditating, and I hear voices, and I'm looking around, and there's nobody around for miles, and then I notice way down at the bottom of the valley are these two guys in their underpants. And what I'm listening, the voices I'm hearing is in German. And in my meager German, I'm realizing it's those two guys down there. And the acoustics was that good.
John, yesterday I was at my church, and the public school that's nearby, they're closing down because the rich people don't want to pay the taxes for it. So this is a great school. They had a teacher-student ratio of 10 kids to teacher. They're going to push them in the kids.
And we got that school 6 months later. And then 2 days after we got the key, the event happened. And we fed 40,000 people.
And instead of having 10 kids in the class per teacher is going to be 60 kids for one teacher. So they were kind of sad on Sunday when they found out about this. And I was, saying, hey, we can fix this, we can do this. And everyone is so depressed, they can't step up to it.
And everyone still is depressed. They're in trauma, but they've experienced this thing that 40 people helped 40,000 people. And what we were doing, we were so intent on doing God's word.
And you have the internet up there. I have to drive like 5 miles to get on the internet,
Now I have to drive 20 miles.
A friend of mine just drove by and put some gas in my pony so I can, and it's his pony really, it's not mine. He's lent me that vehicle. He isn't charging me it, and he isn't trying to have me do anything for him, but he knows I need a vehicle. So it's his beater, and it has issues now and then, and but it's better than nothing, right? So there are a lot of people around here who take care of me because I've known them for 20 years, and when I had money, I was never a problem. I took care of their electric bill and stuff like that, and when things broke, I took it and fixed it. I mean, this whole winter, I probably fixed 20 people's heating systems.
Well, enough of that. We'll go back to me talking. Because, see, I can never really capture the moment, even though I try to on those recordings. Because John was like, he went on a whole grift about, I have to find it perfectly before I can play it. Just letting it play, you hear that, right? Which is interesting. It kind of captures the taste of what's going on. And come on, how about some of those likes? Let's have some likes. And also a comment or two, Otherwise, I'm going to, when this thing hits 30, hey, where'd you get your hat?
I was going to ask you, I really like that.
You want to trade? No.
Ted Lewis. He got, Ted.
I know everybody, but right.
He's wearing, it says Trump stuff on it.
But so
camouflage. He brought it.
Bottom line is Trump's going to win by a big amount.
I hope.
No. You don't hope. You put in your heart God's love.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it works. You don't hope. Hoping is useless, right?
Unless you got some guidance.
Yes, really. I was reading Psalms, right?
Yeah.
And everyone wants to quote this book. No, you're supposed to live this book.
Live by
this.
it.
You know what this is? This is my tuning fork.
There you go.
Bing, and it works my heart, right? And when I have that vibration, and God is a vibration. So this hat, see, there are all these other political things, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this is like 40 years of politics. Right?
Oh, my goodness.
And so I would wear this hat to all of these liberal bourgeois things with it, and I'd wear this hat, and they would like freak out. But I understood their ideology, so I could talk to them, not in an aggressive way, but in a way that showed them, hey, if you just move a little over this way, you'll be okay, And so this hat is a pretty old hat. I've had this. I've recycled. I mean, this is a new FBI, but
is it?
I've had other ones. It was like falling apart. So, but these things are like 40 years old, and they were all important issues.
Yeah.
But see, what happened was people took those issues, hijacked them, and used them. Right.
Yeah.
And Kamala did that, and it's been going on pretty much forever, right?
Yeah.
And so what happened to us with this event, right? The Little Milligan School?
Yeah.
So I live out there, right? I jarred real well, and a handful of people did that. But what happened was hundreds of churches from around the country came and really did it, right? And that was the vibration. Instead of going, oh, and the government, nobody showed up. No one did everything. I mean, the Corps of Army Engineers showed up a little bit and did pretty good, but they only did it because they weren't told what to do, so they didn't have an order not to do anything, right? So
That sounds like FEMA. They've been going around just to be seen.
Yes, and so they dropped in on us. Hundreds of people, forklifts, everything moving around. And she said, we have to move this. I said, what are you going to move? Really? Really? I don't think so. See you later, bye. Did you ever see Saturday Night Live?
Oh, yeah.
Right, and they had this pretty much thing about airline stewardess who would go, bye-bye, bye-bye. It just kept saying, bye-bye, bye-bye.
I think they're having reruns of that too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that show will be rerunning until the millennium.
About like Gunsmoke.
Yeah, exactly. you know when television is getting bad, when Gunsmoke is the better show than what's ever.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's on every day.
Yes, like five times on three
Yeah,
different
one
channels.
channel or another.
Right, exactly. So what's your name?
Jerry.
I'm Al.
Jerry Tester.
Oh, you're one of the testers.
Oh, yeah?
You guys are everywhere.
What's your last name?
Al D.
Al what?
D. D. Yeah, but people know me as Al Bob.
Al Bob.
So I kind of live over near Greg's Branch.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, of course. That's Testerland.
Yeah,
that's Testerland.
Sure is.
But what happened to Trade and Pogie and Oaks Mills, and all of this is going into the hands of the corporate developers, meaning 321, they wanted that road to be big. Now they're going to get a big road. They never get a big road, but now it's gone, right?
From what I've heard, Samaritan's Purse is doing more than anybody. Locally.
Right, they are, but you know who the first people showed up was Salvation Army.
Was it?
They are the best. They are the best.
Good.
And then they moved on to other places, but they stayed with us for a few years, and then Samaritan came. We had almost 300 different churches from all over.
Yeah, we lost Antioch. It washed away. Well, I better go. Good talking to you, Al.
A real pleasure, my friend. Yep. Catch you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope to.
And of course you're not going anywhere soon. Oh, there we go. We're back. Did you get any of that? It's coded. So the place I described is about 3 miles from where I live. Right? I live way into the woods. You have to go like on a Forest Service road, then on a logging road, and then there's my dirt road, right? So it's really, no one ever can find me. That's why I got the place. It's really nice. It's really good. But, well, I'm going to say, see you later, guys, okay? Right?